franchise is here, bud.
Hey, the French is back. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, the Delia. How about that? It's the D train, Daniel Ehrenberg. And you're jacked in. And over there, I'll tell you who's co-hosting this week. The usual co-host. And that's Logan Adair. What's up?
Yep, I've got 666 on my head. I'm ready to go. Ready to talk about Damien and Delia.
Be a pretty good tattoo. Get that 666 just on your scalp.
Yeah, you've got to be bald, though.
No. I'm saying get it with hair, and then you can freak people out. Like, check this out. It's a birthmark.
I don't know how they find it so quickly. They always know, like, the exact spot to look.
Know. That drives me nuts, man. Are you kidding me? I'd be peering through that hair.
Right. No. And the new baby has it on his hand. It's not even on his head.
Yeah, that's much easier, man.
I didn't like that.
What if you had it on your dick, Logan? Then, like, every time
nobody would ever see it.
Yeah, like you'd have to be like, well, I gotta look at this guy's dick to see if he's Satan.
Right. That'd be good. At least somebody would see it. see how big it is.
How big it is.
I don't know.
666. That stands for 6 inches, 6 inches, 6 inches, baby.
Oh, right. 6 inches.
Yeah, you know,
stands for 6 inches plus 6 more inches plus 6 more inches.
That's too big, man. That'll get right up there in the womb. The girl be uncomfortable. Yeah, I guess that's true. What happened to this episode? All right, hey, it's week 2 of 3 of the Omen coverage, and this week we're talking about some pretty inessential films. One of them's called The Final Conflict. You know, when this came out, it wasn't even called Omen III Final Conflict. It was just The Final Conflict.
Yeah, it's different titlings depending on where you look, but mostly it's just The Final Conflict. By the way, I think I got this confused with the Star Trek because there's The Final Frontier, but there's also, isn't there The First Conflict? Isn't that a thing?
First Contact.
Okay, so I got it confused. First Contact and The Final Frontier or whatever.
I think First Contact, there's only like 2 Star Trek movies I've never seen, and I think that's one of them.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah. But we'll
do that this year.
It's supposed to be one of the better ones, too. Yeah, I feel like this is the year we're going to cover Star Trek.
I heard Wrath of Khan is the best one, right?
That's some people's opinion, not mine.
A lot of people like the new ones, or at least 2 of the new ones.
Yeah.
Not that middle one, I don't think.
I kind of think that first J.J. Abrams might be the best one.
I've heard that.
But I also like 4 and 6. Those are both good.
Wow. Well,
yeah.
Can't wait to make up my own.
Yeah. But that's the thing people say. All the even numbered ones are good. That Wrath of Khan is 2. So 2, 4, and 6 are good. And then you could keep those odd numbered shits.
Right. Henry had a theory about the Friday the 13th, how they were similar. 2, 4, 6. Those are good.
He's kind of right about that. He's kind of right about that. Like, it's not that 1, 3, 5 are bad, in my opinion, but 2, 4, and 6 are definitely on a different level.
And then I think they even out. Like 8 might be good, 9 or 8 might be bad, 9 might be good.
8's Manhattan. I think it's good through 8 because I think 8 is better than 7 and 9. But then 10's the space one, so that one's hard to defend.
Right. What number is the remake?
11, I guess.
Okay, 11. All right.
Yeah. All right, gang. We're talking about the Omen 3, The Final Conflict. And also the Omen 4, what's it called? Awakening?
The Awakening.
The Awakening, right. And that's a TV movie. It aired on Fox 5.
Wow. I guess you weren't there, right?
Nah, I mean, in 1991, I was alive, but I definitely wasn't watching Fox 5. I saw that it was on opposite an episode of Murphy Brown, and I watched that. So I was probably watching
at
Murphy
5?
Brown. Yeah, dude.
Wow.
I liked Murphy Brown at 5 years old. I was watching a lot of weird shit at that age. I was really into the show Empty Nest when I was 5.
That is so weird. It makes sense, though.
I know. It makes sense to who I became. All right. So let's go back to 1981, gang, and talk about The Final Conflict, part 3 of 5. Although I guess it is sort of The Final Conflict because then it's a remake and this weird TV movie, and then the first Omen, which is a prequel. So it's like, really, this is a trilogy.
Well, I give them more of a past and the Final Friday or all those.
Oh yeah,
say they're
for
going to
sure.
kill Jason.
I love the part 4 of the final chapter, and part 5 is a new beginning.
Immediately.
Yeah. All right. Let's do it. This film, they asked Donner to direct, and he considered it. I read that, but he was in the middle of a legal battle with the producers of the Superman movies, because remember, he got fired off of Superman 2, and then he sued them.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, this ends up being directed by a fella named Graham Baker. All right, and this was his first movie.
Okay.
But I'll tell you what, you know who's a fan of Graham Baker?
You?
This guy.
How's that?
Because he directed 2 movies I like.
Okay.
Not including this one, which is okay. He did this, his most famous movie, and probably his best movie, is Alien Nation, baby. I think I talked about it on Hey, I'm Watching Here once. Now that's a movie where like aliens have come to Earth, right? And they're living amongst the humans. And it's like about the first alien on the police force. And James Caan is like a bigot. He fucking hates aliens. But his partner is Mandy Patinkin, who's an alien.
Right.
And and then after that movie, they made it into a TV show. It was like a procedural. It was just like an alien and a guy solving crimes.
Yeah, that's mostly as I know it, a TV show.
Yeah. But he also made this movie right after Final Conflict, his second movie, which is called Impulse. And it's about this, like an earthquake happens in a small town, and then everybody in the towns gets violent.
Ooh, like the Crazies or whatever?
Yeah, it is sort of like the Crazies. But it's a pretty good movie, and it's got a very young Bill Paxton in it.
Okay.
So you'll be wanting to check that out for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, Graham Baker, he's all right. So, and our writer here is a fella named Andrew Birkin. I read that his niece is Charlotte Gainsbourg. That was
wow.
Yeah, that's sort of crazy.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's really all I know about him. Okay. This movie came out March 20th, 1981. I read that it was filmed earlier, though. Like they shot it in like 79 or something. It just took a while. And it had a $6 million budget. How does that compare to the last one?
I feel like it's slower.
I meant to look that up. No, it's slightly lower. The last one had 6.8 million.
Oh, okay.
And it made $20.4 million at the box office, which
not as similar as the last one.
Yeah, it's a little less than the last one.
Last one was like 24, 28.
26 and a half.
Oh, that was very close.
I've got my notes here. It came in at number 36 at the box office that year, made slightly less money than the aforementioned Friday the 13th Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
And slightly more money. Ones. Yep, one of the best ones. Baghead Jason.
Wheels, that you're going to say?
Is Wheels in that one? Yeah, you're right.
That's Wheels.
You're totally right. I love Wheels.
The perfume when she sprays it on her vagina. Classic moment.
Classic. Such a classic moment. And slightly more money than Mommy Dearest.
Oh,
another horror movie in its own right.
Dolly Dearest, also a great horror movie.
It's not great, but it is indeed.
That scared me when I was a little kid.
Of course, when you're a little kid, like doll shit scares you.
It ruined the song "Jessie's Girl" for me. Honestly, the little girl in that movie's name was Jessica, and sometimes they called her Jessie. And so when I heard that song, I would think about the doll. Jessie's girl was the doll.
I wish that I had creepy doll.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
God damn. That had one of those good covers. I remember like crawling under the curtain to look at the horror section in my local video store as a kid, and there were like certain horror covers that would scare me, and that was one of them.
Yeah, it is very scary. Look it up, guys, for a good fright.
Yeah. All right. That's all I got. You want to talk about the movie?
Yeah, let's do it. We found them swords.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. That's from I Got a Feeling by the Black Eyed Peas.
That's
How
right.
about that? Yep. Mazel tov.
Move it.
Yeah, I saw a guy. There's a boxing match. I work at the MGM Grand now, which is like a big casino. It's got like a big arena in it. There was a big boxing championship bout this weekend, and so my store where I work is really crowded. And I saw Jermaine O'Neal, the basketball player. I told you about that. But I also may or may not have seen Red Foo from LMFAO.
Which one is he?
The one with the big hair.
It doesn't really help that much.
What do you mean? Only one of them's got big hair, and then his uncle's like the older one. What was his name?
From the Black Eyed Peas?
No, I said LMFAO. Bro.
Oh, LMFAO.
I was just reminded of it because of the Black Eyed Peas.
I'm so sorry.
Of course, everyone in the Black Eyed Peas, I know their names: Will.i.am, Fergie, Apple Diap, and that other guy.
Oh, so you don't know all their names?
No, that's what his name is.
So LMFAO is an uncle nephew duo.
Yeah, it's an uncle nephew duo, and then they never talked again after that first album. They decided they hated each other and they never spoke again.
Well, that makes me very sad.
Yeah, I would love for them to reunite. Party Rock was in the house tonight. I don't know where it is these days.
More like CMFAO, crying my fucking ass off, because that's a sad story.
It is, yeah. I remember I was watching a tennis match once. That doesn't happen often, but I was.
Right.
And it was like, how when you watch a football game with the Chiefs and they show Taylor Swift like a million times?
I think that's not really the way. I think that there's like been a fact checker who did like stats. Like they only show her 3 times a game for 4 seconds. But really,
let me tell you, I watched a tennis match where a female tennis player was dating Red Foo from LMFAO, and they showed him literally after every point.
Wow, whoever the cameraman was a big fan, or the director,
the director of the broadcast.
Yeah, somebody.
They just kept a camera trained on that guy for the entire match. It was wild. All right, let's get into the Omen. I'll tell you what, the biggest sin of this final conflict is it's pretty boring.
It is pretty boring. I agree with that.
It's slow as molasses.
All the stuff with the astrology.
That's the thing that's slow. Molasses are super fucking slow.
That is so slow. So slow. All the stuff with astrology, like we keep checking in with those guys, looking at the stars and all that shit.
Oh, I hated all that. I didn't even understand what was happening in a lot of those scenes. And then, like, by the time I figured it out, it was like, oh, the stars are in the same alignment as like when Jesus was born. And I'm like, who could care?
That was the priests that were doing that.
Yeah, so much of this movie is old Italian men sitting around the room talking about stars. Oh, look at that! Hey, it's the star of Bethlehem. Hey,
I thought you were doing like the Star Wars guys.
A pizza pie. The Italian guys talk about pizza pies a lot.
Right.
I have it on good authority.
But how did these guys, like, I thought those guys were supposed to be scientists that know all about stars, but it was like these priests who know all about religion also know all about stars and how to find star alignments. I
think they only know enough about stars to recognize when the Star of Bethlehem is.
Yeah, they're looking for a very specific thing.
Yeah.
And I guess they found it.
They finally found it. And so it was like going to be happening on this one night. And so that's the night that the new Jesus will be born. And so Damien's like, you better kill every kid born that day.
Yeah. And so his friend lies, right?
It was like that part of Breaking Bad where they like stab 1 million people in prison, but with babies.
That's a good call. Well, I thought this movie was Avengers Infinity War. Like there are 7 things.
You compare everything to those movies, and I don't remember anything about them. And it's
this is an Infinity War, not Endgame. You remember this one more. But in Infinity War, Thanos has to go around and collect the 5 stones, and this was like Damien having to kill the people with the 7 swords. He had to track down those 7 daggers and kill those guys. And I was like, this is kind of Infinity War.
But you know what was frustrating about that?
What?
Because that's how the movie opens too. It starts in like Chicago, and like a dude finds a dagger, and he's like, "Oh, it's one of the 7."
I thought it opened. They were like digging out the cave.
That was that, but like in that cave, they found a dagger.
That's in Chicago?
Yeah.
I thought they were like in the middle of the desert.
No, man. Because I always write down like one title cards, and so that one was Chicago, and then we immediately go to Subiaco, Italy.
Oh.
There's a song by Spiral Stairs called the Subiaco Shuffle. Maybe you should end the episode with that.
Okay, that'll be fun.
Okay. All right. So people keep trying to kill Damien with those daggers in this movie.
Right.
And he like catches them before they can do it, and he kills them and like takes the dagger, and it's like another dagger down. But I thought you had to kill Damien with all 7 daggers.
Right.
I thought it took all 7. I think that was part of the thing that dude tells Gregory Peck in Israel.
I think you're right.
So like, what's going on? Like, how was that girl at the end of this movie? Spoilers for the end of the final conflict. How was she able to just like stab him once in the back with one of those daggers, and that kills him?
Yeah, I don't know about that, because you're right. It is set up that you need all 7 of them, but it seems like their plan was just, we have the daggers, we're going to spread out, somebody kill him. And it's like, that doesn't, I thought you all had to come together to do that. I don't know. I had the same problem. But yeah, at the end, she just uses one. Is it a thing where he had been stabbed throughout the movie with all of them?
He wasn't, though. No. There was one moment where like these 2 dudes came after him with the daggers, and they like stabbed the wrong person. Remember?
Right. But I like the way that was shot, because they mess with the audience in that moment. Like, we see Sam Neill get stabbed. We see, like, I witnessed Sam Neill, the actor, get stabbed in that scene. And then they do it, and they're like, "Oh, we got the wrong guy." And one of the, I was like, "What? I saw Sam Neill."
That's not clever, though. That's just lying to the audience.
No. Because then the character was like, "What? I saw him. And I think that they're like doing a thing where they're messing with the audience there. I think it is a little bit clever. It reminded me of the Dr. Sleep thing, how they make Henry Thomas play Jack, but also play like the bartender, because it's like the same character. They're kind of like messing with the audience there. I think they did that here. I kind of like that little moment.
All right. But anyway, my point was, though, after that, I think Damien ends up with those daggers.
Right.
So I was like, oh, he's good now. He's got 2 of the daggers. He just like melt those fuckers, and now nothing could kill him because the 7 daggers don't exist.
Yeah, they only have 5 of them.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think they broke the rules in this one.
I agree. Come on, play by your own established rules. That's all I ask of these fucking franchises.
Same. Also, something I ask, I want to be scared. I don't think I've ever been scared in one of these. Even the first one, I was never scared. I more just appreciated it on the filmmaking aspects, but I'm not scared. I want to be scared in an Omen. Maybe the new one.
That's fair. Or yeah, the new one, or maybe the remake.
Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. Some people like that movie. Like, ever since we announced we were doing the Omen, I've had more than one person come out of the woodwork and be like, "Hey, that remake is pretty good. Don't sleep on that shit."
I didn't know that. Maybe we should make a list of the horror remakes, rank the like a top 10 horror remakes next week.
I would love that.
That'd be fun.
Let's just oh, this is a good bonus episode, Logan.
Mm-hmm.
Every horror remake since the year 2000. Just rank them all.
Well, we still have to do remakes, because we've done like first installments all the way to 10th installments, and then we never did remakes. We're still waiting on that. But you just want to do horror remakes by themselves?
Well, I thought that would be fun, but maybe we should just do a whole remakes thing. Yeah. It's just remakes of like in as parts of franchises.
Yeah, no, I think remakes of everything, like A Star Is Born.
Just any remake. Holy shit! All right, that's an intense list. Let's fucking do it.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do it.
But I do think next week will be like a top 10 horror remakes. You don't have to get everyone, but just like the 10 best ones.
I'll tell you what, that fucking Friday the 13th movie is probably going to be on mine.
Yeah, I really hope so. That's good.
Yeah. All right. Anyway,
Texas Chainsaw, you like that one?
No, I do not.
Really? I thought that was a good one.
Did not enjoy it. Gang.
Okay.
Check out that episode on that movie. You'll hear me talk about why I didn't enjoy it, because I can't really remember right now, but I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So we didn't establish this. Damien, He's a grown man in this movie.
28 years old, although he looks 35. That doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's Sam Neill. I mean, I just feel like Sam Neill's always looked pretty old.
He does. Because he's actually young. I looked up his age. He's like 32 or 34 when they make this movie, and he looks, I think, like more late 30s.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like in Jurassic Park he looks like he's 50, but he's 40.
Yeah, true.
Anyway, Neil, he's the best part of this movie, by the way. It's like
Really?
and I think there's a lot of bad performances in this movie, so it's almost like MVP Sam Neill, LVP everyone else.
I don't think it was his fault. I think they just gave him too much of a workload, kind of, because we see like that whole scene where he's just talking to the statue of Jesus. I was like, this is 10 minutes long, and it wasn't his fault.
It's
Like,
wild.
what
yeah,
is
he's just
this scene?
monologuing at a Jesus statue. But you know what I liked about it? You don't hear monologues a lot about how Jesus is an asshole. Like, that was kind of cool. And then I like the moment at the end where he he makes his hand bleed on the crown of thorns, and then you see like the blood come down Jesus's face, and it looks like a tear of blood. I thought that was a really good shot.
Yeah, tear of blood. I guess you're right about that.
Yeah. We'll talk more about blood in the next movie, vagina blood.
Yeah, we will.
Mm-hmm.
Stay tuned.
I hope you stay tuned, guys.
I liked Kate. You said LVP everyone else.
I didn't care for Kate.
I thought she might be my MVP.
Wow. Well,
Lisa
she's playing.
Harrow.
They keep saying she's supposed to be like Barbara Walters.
Right. I guess so.
And like, I don't know. She didn't have any star power to me.
I don't know. I kind of liked her. Love that set. That was a beautiful TV set.
You want to know a fun fact?
Yes.
Sam Neill and that lady who plays Kate, they started fucking on the set of this movie, and he impregnated her, Logan.
Oh my God.
Sam Neill has a son that is the product of this sexual relationship.
That's amazing. What a great fact.
I know.
One of the best facts.
Fantastic.
They didn't get married. They just have a baby.
I think so. Yeah.
Wow. We don't hear a lot about that.
Yeah. Yeah. You talked about the set. Here's an issue I have with this movie. Okay. How old was Damien in Damien 2?
He had to be at most 12, but probably
12.
Like 10.
Okay.
No, probably 12.
This movie is a good 20 years later.
Right.
So
Ish.
Damien the Omen 2 took place the year it was made, 1978. All right. So I have a feeling that this movie is supposed to take place in like 1995.
Yeah, I guess you're right about that.
I kept thinking about that because they did absolutely nothing towards that, which is fine. Like, I don't need people to like be, using like pizza dehydrating machines like Back to the Future Part 2. But like they like the set of this show that you liked so much, it didn't even look 80s. It looked 70s.
Yeah, I didn't think about that, but you're right. We're supposed to be somewhere in the future.
Yeah, it looked like Late Night with the Devil.
Yeah, it sort of did. You're right about that.
But it was prime time. It was prime time with the Devil.
So shout out to Late Night with the Devil for getting it right. They got like sort of a look of the era that was pretty accurate, right?
No, listen, if there's one thing you can't fault that movie with, it's the set design.
True. That is true. And we never did fault it for that.
No, we did not. We faulted it for many other things. Check out that episode of Hey, watch it. That's patreon.com/the franchise.
It is easy to find those episodes. You can just go to like when we logged them on Letterboxd and check out whatever week that was. It is pretty easy. Like, I doubt anyone's ever re-listened to Hey, I'm Watching Here, but it would be easy to. Like, if you were like, what did they think of this movie?
Cross-reference.
Maybe it's hard to find it within the episode, but I don't know.
It's whatever. All right, anyway. Damien. He's going to be the UK ambassador. I thought that was pleasing because that's what Gregory Peck was in the first one.
Right. Full circle moment there.
Yeah, his dad. Now, and I wondered about that too. It's like, I wonder if that was like a news story. Like, because that would be wild to hear about. Like, politician whose father attempted to murder him when he was a kid now has the same post that his father did. That would be a big news story.
Is it known that that wasn't his father now?
No, I think people think that was his father.
Okay, yeah. But that guy that commits suicide, he was the original guy, right? But then he made him because now the spot's available for him.
I fucking loved that scene. Best scene in the movie.
I think that's a dangerous way to commit suicide, though.
Oh, very.
It's dangerous to commit every way. But that, like they could open the door and the shotgun could like drop a foot and shoot you in the chest, and then you're just like sitting there like alive, bleeding out, like dying.
But no, he fucking nailed it. He nailed it, bro. He sets up a gun at the door and calls a press conference. And then when the press shows up at the press conference, they open the door, the gun goes off, it shoots him in the fucking head. Mm-hmm. That is the most baller way of going out I've ever seen. Like, honestly, if I was famous, I might kill myself that way just for the lols.
Really? I always think like jumping off something is pretty cool.
But it's been done.
But you cause a lot of damage to the ground down below. You could like break a car. That's always fun. What if you land on somebody? Has anyone ever died from someone landing on them?
I'm sure they have. I've thought about that a lot.
That is awful. That's an awful thought.
Yeah, like that's why you shouldn't jump off a skyscraper. You don't know what's down there.
Yeah, you should see.
You have to really not give a fuck when you do that.
Right. Did anyone in 9/11 die by like someone landing on them, you think?
Whoa. I don't think so. Because like the way the World Trade Center is, like they probably had that area like taped off by then.
Yeah, no one's just standing by.
Yeah.
The building ready to get hit. That'd be crazy.
Except for like rescue workers and shit.
Yeah, maybe a firefighter or something.
Could be. We'll never know.
That's
know, the building ended up falling on them, so we don't know what happened to a lot of those guys. We only know what happened to those guys that Nick Cage played in that Oliver Stone movie.
Right. What's that one called?
World Trade Center.
That one's bad, isn't it?
Terrible.
Yeah.
Listen, Nick Cage and Oliver Stone. That's a pairing I want to see, and I still fucking hated that movie.
Did you come back? Is Oliver Stone still alive?
Yeah, he does like conspiracy shit about Fidel Castro now.
Oh, I wish he'd get back out there.
Me too.
All these old guys, if they're still alive, they should all get back out there.
Yeah, make movies. Like I always steer like anytime I see like Joe Dante or something, I'm like, that guy's just still around. He could be making movies.
That's why I hate what Tarantino said. He said he was going to give up after his next movie. It's like, why? You're in your 50s. What are you talking about?
He'll never do it, though. I don't buy it.
He might not even get this next one made. He hasn't even started it yet.
Yeah, I know. Didn't he like recast it?
I think he gave up. He was like, it's going to be about a critic. And now it's not about a critic. Now it's like something else. I don't even know what it's about now. All right. Started a whole new thing. I was into that, though. I think he was like, maybe Michael Fassbender was like talked about. He would have been great.
Tarantino. Yeah, he's perfect for that.
You're in anything. I want to see him be funny.
Fassbender, he's very funny.
He's in Inglourious Bastards. I forgot about that.
Yeah, he's funny in that.
Yeah, the finger thing. Always remember that.
He's funny in Shame too. Just like
is he
fucking then? Ladies? Yeah.
He fucks the mom from 13 Reasons Why, I think.
Does he?
I'm pretty sure. I forgot her name.
You know what the ghost blowjob of that movie is?
What?
When Carey Mulligan sings at that party.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Amy Hargreaves.
That's the mom from 13 Reasons Why?
Yeah, is she in Shame? Pretty sure.
Is she the mom of the girl who killed herself?
No, she's the mom of Clay Jensen. Yeah, she is in Shame. She plays Hotel Lover.
Hotel Lover.
Yep.
I always like the scene in that movie where he's like looking at that girl in the subway, because I feel like I've had that interaction a million times and it's never once ended up in me fucking. And like
never once. You never met someone on subway?
No, I have, but never in that way where like we're like sharing eye contact and stuff.
Damn, I feel like honestly that would happen to me every day if I was on the subway.
Yeah, well, it would happen to me every day, the eye contact thing. But then, like, I'm a little bit of a pussy,
Really?
Like here's what I would do. Instead of like going up to them and being like, come back to my place right now. What I would do instead is
you can't do that today, I don't think.
I guess I would go check misconnections on Craigslist, see if they wrote something about me.
Oh wow. I guess that's one way to do it.
Yeah, yeah. And it worked twice, but never on the subway. It was all people who saw me at my job.
But then it's too late. Then you're just like, oh, I should have made a move or whatever.
No, are you kidding me? I boned both them misconnection babes. Don't even worry about it.
Oh, well, worked out.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. L Dog. What other parts of this movie were do you have feelings on?
Well, Kate has a son, Peter, right? And Damien gets real close to Peter. Peter starts looking up to Damien and following his orders.
Yeah, yeah. It's it's like the Barbara Walters lady's kid, right?
That's right. They become in a romantic relationship, which I guess sparked in real life, and then she has a son, so he gets close to her son.
Yeah, there's this real weird sequence where they go on like a fox hunt together.
Oh, that was
and then Sam Neill like rubs blood on his face.
Yeah, it ends in
which is apparently a thing rich people like to do.
Yeah, I guess so. Willow did it in a Buffy episode recently.
Bargaining, part 1.
Yeah, that was all very odd. I like the scene where Damien makes the guy on the horse fall off the horse though into the water.
Oh my god! Yeah. That's the second best scene in the movie after the suicide press conference.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, second best scene in the movie is Damien is on a bridge, and there's like dudes with the daggers on either side of the bridge, and one of them's on a horse, and one of them's just walking creepy. And yeah, the dude who's on the horse, like he spooks the horse until the horse like knocks him off the bridge. It's a big fall.
Yeah, it was an awesome fall.
It looked awesome.
Yeah, these movies still get a lot of cool practical shots. Like I'm still pretty amazed by the stuff they capture on camera.
I also liked the bit where the dude tries to assassinate him at the talk show. And
yes,
by the way, worst assassination attempt ever. He was terrible at it. He just like fucking trips and like, but he like ends up like swinging back and forth. Yeah, and
catches on fire too.
That looked cool. Yeah, it's just terrible. Like the worst assassination attempt ever.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, the horse thing bothered me a little bit because the horses. I feel like we saw Damien on a horse in the second one.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
So I don't know, like in this one, and then in the fourth one with the little girl, like it seems like horses are spooked by the Antichrist, but that horse in the second one was chill as fuck.
Are we sure about this? There's a horse in the second one?
I'm 100% sure.
Yeah, because we do know that animals don't like him from the first movie, right? We take him to that petting zoo, and like there's the giraffe and the baboons are all freaking out.
Yeah,
so we have a history of animals not liking him, but I guess in the second one there's a horse that does.
The horse seems totally fine with him.
We have it on here. I guess he can turn it on and off.
Maybe. What about that scene where he knocks the dude off the horse? Did you like that spooky head tilt that Sam Neill did?
Yeah, I think I did.
It was great. Like he did like a little Michael Myers head tilt.
Yeah, I feel like I did like that moment. I think the guy that got knocked off, I think he might be my LVP. It's this guy, Tony Vogel, who played Brother Antonio. And I think it's because he looked like that Rocco guy from the Boondock Saints.
No!
Right? Didn't he? He had like the beard and the long hair. And I was like, he looks too much like him for me to enjoy any type of performance from him. So I couldn't get past that. So I'm going to give him my LVP. Sorry to him.
I was going to give my LVP to your fucking MVP.
No way.
Yeah.
What was wrong with her? I really liked her.
I just thought it was a boring performance. Like she just did nothing for me. Like that character needs to pop. She's the one who kills Damien. We got to be like really rooting for that. But like I'm not at all.
I didn't like that scene where they had sex with each other. I really didn't like it.
Me neither. And it takes a lot to get me not to like a sex scene.
It's true. That is true. But it all because like their whole relationship is built on manipulation because he knows he's the Antichrist and he's like getting in with her and she has no idea. It all just felt very gross to me. But I guess that. But how often does he have sex? Like, you think?
Sam Neill? I mean, as Damien, I think he was probably fucking a lot.
Damien was? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, like in college. You don't think that guy got around?
That's what we should have seen, though. We talked about it last week. We should have had like when he's a teenager, like a teenage love or something, or college.
I agree.
We
It
skipped
sucks
this
that we
whole thing.
Yeah, there's like a line in the fourth one that where they like compare her to Carrie. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that sucks that we never got that. Like high school Damien. Just crazy.
Well, I think we might
Like
in the next
fucking
one.
with people.
In the first Omen, isn't she like a 20-year-old or so?
I don't know what that movie's about.
Okay. From what I know, the person that they cast in it, she's like in her 20s. So
All right.
I think that might be more what we're
We'll
talking
find
about.
out next week. You know what I love about these Omen movies? They're all on Hulu.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like I
That's where
haven't
I've
been
been
watching them on
watching
Hulu, but I should.
Yeah.
All
right.
I didn't like when Sam Neill says Bugenhagen. Did you catch that?
Oh, he mispronounces it. It's Bugenhagen.
We said Bugenhagen last week, and he said it wrong. He said Bugenhagen. I'm pretty sure.
Bugenhagen.
Let's keep this shit consistent, gang. That's another thing I ask of franchises. You need to maintain your rules and your pronunciations.
Consistency is key in movie franchises.
That's
And
right.
this one abandons all rules for the most part.
Yeah.
I don't have that much else, I guess. He had a friend. Oh, his friend has a wife who's pregnant, and they have a baby too. And he's like, he was born the day before that day, but then it's revealed he was lying to him. So
yeah, I liked that dude though. That was an interesting part where he had like an assistant who was like his political assistant or whatever, but he also knew all the shit about him being the Antichrist.
yeah, he was actually helping him. He knew everything. That was kind of an interesting character.
That was good stuff. But here's the problem with this movie. Remember the scene we talked about with like the horse, knocking the guy off the bridge?
Mhm.
I feel like that takes place like halfway through the movie, and then nothing interesting happens for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, the rest is about killing babies. It really
Yeah.
turns into we have to hunt down and kill all of the babies.
It's just slow as shit, man.
Yeah. What I thought was actually going to happen was like somehow Peter was the second coming of Christ. Like they got the date wrong or something.
Oh,
he was
that
gonna
would
have
be
to.
awesome.
That's why I thought we were setting up another like kid that was important because it was
Why
gonna be
wouldn't
like
the
him.
second coming of Christ be born like at the same time as Damien? That feels like poor planning on Heaven's part.
Yeah, to have Damien rule for 20 years before the second coming of Christ shows up.
Yeah.
Yeah, have them both.
Then
show
all he
up
has to
and
do is
duel.
kill a baby. Yeah. It's got to be a kid like the same age.
Yeah, I agree with this. That was
It
a
should have
bad
been
job.
Mark from the last one.
Right. It should have been.
Yeah.
He's dead. It might have been him, but he was died.
Should have
before.
been Mark. Should have been Mark. That's a Taylor Swift song. All right.
Wow, great job.
Thank you.
I don't know what he dies. He dies at the end.
He does. And then he like looks up at the sky and Jesus is up there. Like a big representation of Jesus looking like fucking Hugh Jackman and Van Helsing. And then and then the movie ends. You just like it's one stab. I've never seen like the big bad of a movie franchise die this easily.
Was he not like hurt up to that point before he got stabbed?
No, he's totally fine. He's totally
Really?
fine. And he's just, like talking to Peter and like everything's chill. And then he's just like running away from that lady. And he can't even do that right. And he gets stabbed in the back once. And that's it. Dead.
Yeah, that was very easy, I guess. By the
Dead by 1/7 of the daggers that are supposed to.
yeah, it makes no sense. We learned in the next movie that Delia is the daughter of Damien.
Yeah.
In this moment where he has sex with Kate, is
I
Kate
think
the
that,
mother?
yes, I believe that in Omen continuity, this sex scene that we didn't like is the conception of Delia.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's right. I think
All right.
we're supposed to think
Of course, that would make it so that the fourth Omen movie has to take place in about 2005. And it's very fucking 1991.
Right. Yeah, Omen 3 shouldn't have actually happened yet in 1991, maybe.
Right. Exactly.
But we don't care.
We
at
don't
all.
give a shit.
No.
All right. What do you give this movie?
I'll get very clearly a 2.
Yeah, me too. I'll
Nowhere
tell you
near
what.
a 3, nowhere near a 1.
This was my second time watching it. I'd seen it like when I was pretty young, and I had it at a 3 on Letterboxd. And I guess
Wow.
I just like fondly remembered the Sam Neill shit, but like it's a fucking 2, bro.
Yeah, it's like the two of all twos.
Yeah, it's the heart of the twos.
Yeah, and I lied about my MVP. I did think about Kate, but I am gonna go with Sam Neill. He is my MVP.
Okay, and who's your LVP?
Tony Vogel, the
Oh,
guy that dies
right.
on the horse.
That's right. Okay, and I'm going with Lisa Harrow, baby.
Oh, I don't get it, but that's fine.
Hey, she's from New Zealand. She was doing a pretty good accent. I'll give her that.
Yeah, what else has she been in?
I'm
Sunday.
looking. She's still working.
That's great.
That's great. I don't know. She's in like a British TV show that I remember being a thing, but like not a great career.
Nothing of note, really.
Yeah.
But she's around. She's acting.
She sure is. And raising Sam Neill's son. Or
True.
I guess he's an adult now, probably.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Should we move on?
Yes, we should.
Okay.
That guy's like what, older than you? Probably?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he's like
they said this
man.
filmed in like 79, right? Not and came out in 81. So yeah, he's like 40.
Wow. Yeah, holy shit.
Over 40. My sister was born in 80. We celebrated her 40th birthday. Made fun of her a lot. Now I'm going to turn 40. It's going to be a real bummer. All right. So they make another Omen movie about 10 years later. All right. But it's a TV movie. The fellow who like came up with a story. Remember we said he like saw The Exorcist and he was like, what if there was a kid that's a boy? What's that fella's name?
I don't know.
God damn it!
From the first, he has like a credit on the first Omen.
He credit on all of them. He has a story credit on this fourth one. Harvey Bernhard. He like still had the rights to this, and then he like after this movie, he let the rights slip away. I think he retired from making movies.
Damien wasn't a thing before the Omen.
No, doesn't it feel like it should have been in like the Bible?
I thought it was. Like I legitimately thought that it was. What an incredible invention.
It is incredible. So this fellow Harvey Bernhard, he had a good 80s, right? He produced a Lady Hawk and the Goonies and the Lost Boys. And then he produced this, and this is the last movie he ever produced. He retired.
So he produced one of Donner's films, and then he made this one?
A couple of Donners. I mean, Lady Hawk and Goonies. What's the other one I said? Goonies. Yeah, those are both.
I forgot Donner. Lady Hawk. Yeah, Goonies. That's really cool.
I guess he just wanted to live with his lady. He had like 2 children and a wife.
Yeah.
You know, he's just like wanted to be a dude. I made enough money. I wish more people were like that.
We're all dudes.
Yeah.
Is that from Good Burger or something?
It is from Good Burger.
Wow.
If you want to hear that song,
we can do Good Burger. They came out with a sequel.
Yeah, Good Burger. That Good Burger really thought that song was hilarious. Like you hear that thing 100 times in that movie. It's like that thing you do.
That's funny. Yeah. They thought they had a hit on their hands.
Yeah. Anyway, the writer of this movie is a fellow named Brian Taggart. I really don't know anything about him. He does have a couple of credits. We've covered him before. He wrote Poltergeist 3, which I kind of liked.
In the hotel.
It's like a high-rise. It's not a hotel. It's like an apartment building.
Yeah, right.
But with like a whole shopping area downstairs. And he also wrote V, which was a big miniseries that a lot of people say Independence Day ripped off. And the lead of V was an actress named Faye Grant, who was also the lead of this movie. How about that?
Wow. I thought she was a little bit Home Alone.
Catherine O'Hara?
Yeah, a little bit Catherine O'Hara.
Well, you want to know my favorite thing about Faye Grant?
What?
She, at this time in her life, was married to Stephen Collins from Seventh Heaven. Okay?
Yeah.
And do you remember when we found out Stephen Collins was a pedophile?
I don't know who that is, so it doesn't really ring a bell.
The main guy from Seventh Heaven. You don't know what I'm talking about?
No, not really.
All right. So a couple years back, turned out that guy was a pedophile.
Yeah.
Okay? And the way we found that out was that Faye Grant, who by this point was his ex-wife, released tapes of their like couples therapy sessions where he admitted to this.
Mm-hmm.
So she outed him as a pedophile.
That's
amazing.
and released tapes from their therapy session. That seems like worthy of jail time or something.
It was crazy. I listened. I remember being at work with my headphones in, listening to the Stephen Collins therapy session.
Wow, what an eventful day! And you were a fan of his? You were like, oh my god.
Not a fan per se, but I watched Seventh Heaven, and like I've seen him in a bunch of shit. I remember he played someone's dad in something.
This was after the show ended.
Yeah, this was well after the show ended, and he, you know, he plays like a pastor on that show, so he had like a real squeaky clean image.
Right, and that's like Bob Saget, how he's like a not a bad guy, but like a real dirty comic. But on the show, he's even a clean character. His whole bit is like he's a clean freak.
I know, it's true. Oh, Drive Me Crazy. That's what I was thinking of. He plays Melissa Joan Hart's dad in Drive Me Crazy.
Wow. And nothing ever came out of this show, Seventh Heaven? Like any behind the scenes? He never did anything?
Nothing. I guess he kept it clean on set.
But cool.
You know, he like, I think it was like a neighbor girl or something he was touching.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Ugh. Yeah. Anyway.
Is he dead or what? He's in jail?
No, he's around, but congrats.
He's around? He's out? Just living life?
I don't know if he went to jail.
He should. He's like a convicted pedophile.
That's a good question. I never really thought about it. But let me look it up. You know, can you give me a second?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's in a Star Trek movie.
Yeah, I think the first one.
The motion picture, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a long fucking movie, 223.
Yeah, that movie's boring. Oh. It's got moments though.
He's in Blood Diamond too. Also 223. He only picks up movies that are 2 hours 23 minutes long. That's his thing. Apparently,
the LAPD had like investigated him like 18 years earlier. But I guess like the claim, because like, okay, he did it. He touched girls in 1973, 1982, and 1994 that we know of. Okay. And then it was like by the time she released those tapes, like statute of limitations was up or whatever.
You're like, oh, that's too long ago.
Yeah. Like we'll have to wait for him to touch another young girl and then we could get him.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
This fucking world. All right. So anyway. That's Faye Grant. She rules. But our director, did you notice 2 directors credited?
I did. Yes, I did.
Now, I was confused by that. The reason is one of the directors had creative differences and left halfway through making the movie, but he'd already made like most of the movie. And he like they didn't reshoot his shit. So it's literally like half of the movie's directed by someone and then half the movie's directed by someone else.
It's a little bit like the second movie.
A little bit, but they reshot enough of that like only one guy got credit.
Right. True. Yeah. Here they split it.
So the dude who was directing it originally was a French fella by the name of Dominique Othenin Gerard.
Love it.
All right. And we've covered him on the show before because he directed Halloween 5. The Revenge of Michael Myers, not one of the better Halloween movies.
Is that with Paul Stephen Rudd?
No, that's Halloween 6, Curse of Michael Myers.
5, is that one of the worst ones, 5?
I would say 5 is probably the worst of like until like Rob Zombie.
I can't tell you the difference between 4, 5, and 6. So I get those confused.
4 is the one where Daniel Harris is a kid and it ends with them on a roof.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. 5 starts with like Michael Myers drifting down a canal, and then like a guy nurses him back to health, and they kills that guy. That's all I remember.
Which one is the woman hides a baby in a bathroom?
That's 6. That's the one with Paul Stephen Rudd.
Okay. I feel like I kind of like that one, but people shit on that one, I think.
No, that one's got some decent stuff in it. It also has a fake Howard Stern shock jock in it.
Oh, that's fun. So 5 is the bad one, really?
Yeah, 5 sucks. And then, yeah.
And then 7's H2O, and then Resurrection.
Right. Oh, Resurrection's bad.
Yeah, but that's a fun one for like reality TV.
No, purposes. It's true. I'd like rather watch, like if you told me right now, like I'll give you $100 if you watch either Halloween Resurrection or Halloween 5 right now, I'd take you up on it and I'd watch Resurrection.
Right. Yes. I had that thought, like if I was comparing this to the American Psycho TV movie. Like I would I would watch that I think twice before I watch this Omen again.
Really?
Not that I hated this. I was just thinking like that American Psycho was like really fun TV movie. That's like the
I don't
way
know.
to do it.
I gotta say, I thought this was like significantly better than that. Not that I thought this was good. It's definitely the worst of the four, but I really didn't find much to enjoy in that American Psycho movie at all.
I didn't feel like this got going. Lerner really kicks the movie off, and he gets in an hour in basically.
I know he's like barely in it.
Yeah, and then he dies quick too. You're right.
Yeah, he's not even really like important.
Right, you're right.
All right, so Omen Gerard gets replaced by a fella named Jorge Montesi.
I don't know.
Not Raul Mondesi, who was a great baseball player. And that's all I got. It aired May 20th, 1991 on Fox. I'll tell you what it was up against.
Okay.
All right. This is May sweeps, baby. So they were airing their good stuff. ABC had a special going called Best of Disney, 50 Years of Magic. All right. CBS aired a special called America's Missing Children. And then an episode of Murphy Brown that was part 1 of 3. Wow. An epic Murphy Brown 3-parter. And then Northern Exposure. And NBC had a rerun of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, followed by a TV movie called Reason for Living, the Jill Ireland story.
Ooh.
All right.
Who's she?
Jill,
she famous?
She was an actress, and she had like breast cancer. But I think she got she was like a heroin addict who like recovered from that while she was dealing with her breast cancer.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah. So that's why they made a TV movie out of her.
Yeah. Wow.
Anyway, this did very poorly. All that shit I was talking about, like the Jill Ireland shit, the Murphy Brown, that Disney special, all
Fresh
those.
Prince reruns.
Yeah.
They all did better.
They all did better than this. Yeah. I just double checked the Fresh Prince rerun, and that did better too.
That's so sad. How many 3-part television episodes are there, by the way?
Especially sitcoms.
I feel like that's unheard of to me. Anyway.
Yeah.
I don't think I've heard of that.
Nobody does that. Well, kind of that Pylea arc on Angel.
That's a good call. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually a good point. That was a
How about that?
Thing.
Yeah. Anyway, you said you have a lot of notes on this movie. Why don't you hit me with some of them?
Well, probably a lot of them don't make that much sense. But
give me some context. So the basic plot of the movie, it's a gender swapped Omen. It's just like
we can't have a baby
8 or Ghostbusters ladies. It's
but both parents know about the adoption in this one. That's a difference.
They know about the adoption, but they don't know that she's a freak show.
Of course, but in the first one, it's like a big thing. The man is hiding it from mom, Remick. That's like a big thing in that first one.
That's true.
But here, they both know about it.
Even in this one, like the people adopting out the baby were like nuns, so they gender swapped that too.
Right? Yeah, they did. They did do that. You're right. You're right about that.
Now, I liked that one nun with a butt chin. You know what I'm talking about?
The one that's revealed later on is a big character.
That's right.
Felicity. Now, you probably love that too because you love Felicity.
I do, but here's why I loved her. She played Mulder's sister on the X-Files.
Wow. That's
all right.
Incredible.
That was fucking Samantha Mulder, bro. I was losing my shit.
Yeah. And that's after this or what?
Yeah. Well, after this.
Okay.
I mean, not well, a couple years.
It's in the 90s, anyway.
Yeah. So that was exciting for me.
Yeah, I can imagine. But I hated the music. I don't know how long it lasted, but at the very beginning, I'm not kidding. We were 4 minutes in, and I checked the time because there were 2 instances already where I was like, "What the fuck is this music?" Like two times in the first 4 minutes. So that was a problem I had. It probably got better.
You know what was weird about this one was Jerry Goldsmith did the music for the first 3, and after the first one, which he got such great notices for, he like changed it up and never did those like Latin chants again for 2 and 3. But I noticed that in this one, they just went back and used all his music from the first one.
I thought it worked really well. I felt back at home a little bit, kind of.
Yeah, it was like it was effective, and it was like, man, if he just went back to the well for like 2 and 3 instead of like trying to come up with new shit. It might have been more effective, honestly.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. He maybe should have done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because but maybe it works better here because this is a remake. Maybe it works better. We haven't seen it in a bit, but now that we're back to the
you don't think
roots,
like Sam Neill doing the head tilt? If you heard like, "Hey, Shaw, don't make it."
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
That would
You're
have been
totally
good.
right. Man, even just doing that now, it takes me back. That is so good. I love that. So basically, it sucked for that one guy. He was like just trying to have sex, and then the guy caught photos of him, so we got kicked out of office. Right? That sucked.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He wasn't even doing anything crazy. It's just like you get a picture of you having sex, and now you can't have your job anymore.
Was it a hooker?
It might have been a hooker.
There you go.
Was it a
People
hooker?
really judged sex work back then.
That's that might have been it.
That's the whole plot of the first episode of The West Wing is Rob Lowe fucks a hooker, and they've got to keep that shit under wraps.
Yeah, I guess they would catch him in bed with his wife, and it'd be like a story. But
the hooker, by the way, was played by Cuddy from House MD.
House, I don't know. Oh, House MD, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that's actually that guy. But so we get Delia, and I expected for the mom at one point to go Delia, Delia, but she never did that.
Why would she do that? Oh, because like she reminds you of Catherine O'Hara.
Right. You think that was funny?
I thought Paul Simon was going to come out and go, Delia, you're breaking my heart. You see, you don't know that reference. Yeah.
No. Well, you got my reference.
I'll tell you what, neither of us made each other laugh, but hopefully some of the audience laughed at one of those.
Yeah, that's what we do here. We just throw everything at the wall.
That's right. See what sticks, baby.
So Delia, she goes to school and she has a teacher. Did you catch this? Her teacher's name is Miss Norris. All right. So
that's like the Filcher's cat from Harry Potter.
Well, no, that makes her mother Filch's cat. She's Miss Norris, but her mother is Mrs. Norris. That's Filch's cat.
Oh, okay.
So we had to go to her mother. This is only Miss Norris.
Is that what you were thinking about?
Yeah, totally.
That was your note?
Yeah, Mrs. Norris.
Okay,
her mother
great.
is Mrs. Norris.
I'm glad I got it.
Yeah, you nailed it. So there's one part, I forgot who it was, but one guy, they do like this. I was pretty impressed by this moment actually from like a TV movie. It was shot and edited very similarly to the David Warner death. Did you catch this? The one where the guy gets his head cut off?
He dies in a car. I just wish it was like, it's a bummer because it was on Fox 5. Like there were a couple of good deaths that could have been like gorier and cooler, but like, it was edited for network television.
But that was a good one. Like in the other one, we see the head more. In this one, we don't, but we see the like impact, I feel like. And it looks really well. And then we see like a ball rolling, and I thought it was gonna be his head, but it was just a little ball.
No, but that's what they were trying to get you to think. Right. They faked you out. It's good. I also like that death where that the dog like tackles that lady out of a window.
Oh yeah. Josephine. Yeah, so we get a nanny. A nanny gets sent over, and I thought she was gonna be like an evil nanny, like Baylock.
No, but she's like the opposite. She's a good nanny, and she's into like astrology and crystals and bullshit. I'll tell you what, the most justified thing Delia does in this entire movie is when they take her to that like psychic fair with like a billion like palm readers and tarot card people, and she like burns that shit to the ground. I'm like, I can support that.
Why?
Because fuck those people. They're all charlatans.
But here they're right.
Yeah, I know, because that happens in movies.
So in this, but in the universe of this movie, you shouldn't be grateful that happened. You should be feeling bad for them.
think I still hate them.
Even though they nail it?
Yeah.
They look at her and they're like the Antichrist. Boom, got her.
Get a real job.
You guys are dumb. You idiots.
Yeah.
but they're like, no, we're right about that.
I did like her friend though that was like helping her. That dude with the long hair.
Delia?
No. The nanny's friend.
Oh yeah, that guy was weird. Did they know each
other? I
thought
that guy was cool.
I like him too.
Yeah, I don't. I guess she was just like buds. He was, with the nanny or whatever. But like, he reminded me of.
I don't remember who that was in the credits.
I don't think he was anybody because I looked him up, but then I realized he was just reminding me of this dude who played Richard on Sex and the City.
Oh, shout out to Richard.
What's that actor's name? James Remar.
Oh, I know him.
Yeah.
But is he Jim Burns? Was he Noah?
What?
In the credits.
Oh, I'm not looking at it.
It looks like Jim Burns, maybe. He was in Highlander.
Yeah. No, that's exactly who it was, because I remember I had to like listen for the character name so I could look it up.
Yeah, I liked him. Honestly, possible MVP. I think I'm gonna go with the mom. No, maybe Lerner, probably Lerner. Anyway.
I might go with that guy.
Yeah, I like that guy too.
Yeah.
So yeah, we knock Josephine out of the window, and she lands on the little, what's that called? Carousel.
It's one. Yeah. It's one of those things that like a playground that like spins around, you know.
But it's not the like. I always get that confused with the one with the little horsies that you go around.
It's not that. No, it's the one where you sit there.
But I don't know what they're called.
Yeah, I don't really know either. But it was creepy. Like a couple scenes after that, she's just like playing on that thing.
Yeah, and she smiles at mom. Like,
yeah.
I know what I'm doing. She's pretty spooky.
Yeah,
no, not really.
So, what an asshole.
I don't know if the actor was good or not. Like sometimes I liked her, but sometimes it felt like she was trying to like not laugh. I could see the little girl trying to not laugh.
She was okay, I thought. Like I looked her up, and she had like a little acting career as a kid in the '90s. Like she was in a few things. Yeah, and it didn't super surprise me because I thought she like had some charisma.
Yeah, she had enough. She wasn't bad.
Yeah.
So there's one part where we ride horses and she scares them. I guess we talked about that in the last movie a little bit.
Now, but the reason that she spooks the horse, the doctor says that she's only 8 years old and her menses has started. All right. So she like had her period on that horse. And that's why the horse was spooked. I'm like, what? And like in that moment, I was like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard a fake doctor say, that a horse was spooked by a period. But then later on, it turned out that he was like in league with the devil people.
Right.
So like, I think he was just trying to throw her off the scent.
Yeah. I didn't remember
the same way that horse was thrown off by the scent of her menses.
Exactly. They're the same. Yeah. The little parallel there. That's beautiful. It's nice writing. And so that happened. And so we're like, how did that happen? But what happened, should we talk about it, like the crazy twist? I wrote it down. Fetus papyraceus.
Oh God, it is crazy. I mean, there's a Wikipedia page for this, so it's a thing.
I never heard of it, but
I never heard of it either.
Where there are two twins in the womb, but then one twin like absorbs the other twin and becomes pregnant with the other twin.
Right. So the one twin is now like pregnant with her own dead twin.
It's a dead twin?
Yeah, he's dead.
I didn't know that part.
I think
Why is it dead?
I think once the one twin absorbs the fetus of the other twin, that fetus is no longer viable.
So you have a dead baby in your body?
Yeah, you're just living with a dead baby in your body.
What does that feel like? Oh my God. Literally, I cannot imagine.
Horrible. I bet it feels like you have the shits all the
like
time.
Emotionally. I mean, she doesn't know it, does she? Or does she?
Emotionally. No, I don't believe she knows it. But yeah, okay. But I guess she does, because I think this little kid, Delia, like, it's not like Damien. Like Damien, like a bunch of dudes like had to give him Bibles and stuff and be like, you're evil.
Yeah, Lance Henriksen.
Yeah, right, exactly, Lance Henriksen. And I feel like Delia from like day one, like knows she's evil and like understands her purpose and shit. And the doctor who said the thing about period blood, he's the one that like takes the baby out of her and puts it in the mom.
Right. Yeah.
And but I guess that baby was viable because the mom gave birth to it. It was Anthony or
something. True. So in this case, it's alive.
Yeah, I think that's
time
bullshit
to get it out and move it to the other one, or maybe.
Yeah. Like so, I mean, I feel like Delia did know then. Like Delia had to be in league with that doctor.
Yeah, she's very aware, way more aware than Damien was in the first two until he realizes.
Yeah,
seems like somebody told her about it when she was a baby or something.
I don't know. It just
she did come from that nun place. Info. They were probably like very religious and very matter of fact about the whole thing.
Just like from day one, they're like, "You're the Antichrist, kid."
I can see that happening. Yeah. There's like, yeah, this is what the way it is.
She'd have to wrap her brain around that though. I can't even imagine like an 8-year-old like learning they're the Antichrist and like understanding what to do with that. But I guess that just goes to show how evil Delia is.
And if you're the Antichrist, you understand it all. Like if you're telling a normal kid you're the Antichrist, they'd be like, "What the fuck are you talking?" But if you tell the Antichrist you're the Antichrist, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, I am the Antichrist."
Yeah, they're like
Obviously.
that makes a lot of sense.
That's why I'm so fucking evil.
Right.
Now I get it. I love the mirror shot. Cool shot where the nanny's or somebody's in the mirror. I forget who it was, and we see the cool like inverted shot in the mirror. I was impressed by the way they did that.
Yeah. You know what I didn't? You know what I didn't like? There's a lot of upside down crosses in this movie.
Right.
And there's one part where she's playing in the sand and you don't see what she's doing, right? But then she walks away and the camera pans down to the sand and she's like drawing it in like an inverted cross with a stick. And it's only inverted if you look at it from our camera.
Yeah. Yeah, to us, they nailed it. But from her, she did a normal.
Yeah.
I think she knew. Maybe
drove me
in
nuts.
case someone came up to her, they would notice.
It's a real cross. It's just a real, like you can play it off. But also at the end of the movie, did you notice that when they leave the funeral of the mom, the walkway of the funeral?
No,
it was an inverted cross.
No, I did not notice that. That's
but
great.
again, it's only inverted if you're walking in that direction.
Well, it's inverted when you're leaving the cemetery. I think that makes sense on the side where you're leaving it. That is good. No, I did not notice that. I love that. That's great. So how did they do that? They found a cemetery. They're like, this one has like a walkway that's like, or did they build that?
It's possible that it had like one walkway and then they built another walkway through it. Yeah,
they probably added on to something already there. Yeah. That is a great call. They probably did do that. I love that. That's genius. Great job.
Genius.
There's a big thing in this where it's like everything's about politics and we brought it on ourselves because we made the world such a bad place for the Antichrist to live in that like it's our own doing.
See, that's why it should have been the dystopian future of 2005.
That's another great point. Yeah, it would have made a lot more sense if it were like, we really fucked up. But like in the world of 1991, it doesn't work as much.
But yeah, they could have said like, you know, the ozone layer was already becoming a problem in 1991. They should have been like, it's gone. There's no ozone layer anymore.
Yeah, you're right. They should have done it. But I thought that was kind of an interesting take. Like we brought the devil upon ourselves by being so bad.
Yeah, but that's also like this real puritanical take where it's like the sinning of the world. Like the world's always been terrible. Like there have been sins happening for eternity.
Yeah, we had slaves and shit.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, the world's gotten slightly better. Like,
yeah, well, I guess. So.
I don't know. 1991. What was so terrible in 1991? The Soviet Union collapsed. You know, tear down that wall and shit.
Yeah, you guys were on season 3 of Seinfeld or whatever. You guys were loving life. Maybe season 2. I don't know.
I think season 2.
I know there's one episode in 89, so I think I might have.
Yeah. 89 is the Seinfeld Chronicles, and then they aired the next 4 in 90, and then I think season 2 is 91.
Okay, so season 2 is not the best season. I think they really nail it in 3 and 4. Those
it's
are really
got some
favorites.
good eps though. Season 2's got the Chinese restaurant. Yeah. It's got the pony remark.
Yes, I knew I was gonna reference that one. I love that.
It's got the deal when you know, this and that, you know, friendship and sex
and the other.
Yeah, and the other. Very good.
Best show ever, Seinfeld.
It's up there, baby.
Yeah. I like this part where 2 people show up. They're like Jehovah's Witness type people. They have like this pamphlet to give to them.
Yeah. And Delia's just like, fuck you.
Yeah. And she rips it up. And then mom shows up and she's like, why? What happened? And they're like, Delia was terrible. They didn't say her name. They didn't know her name. But they're like, that girl is the devil or whatever. And then dad shows up and dad really takes Delia's side, like even over mom's. And that's
dad really consistently takes Delia's side.
Like this is the moment where it crosses.
You don't see anything wrong with Delia. There's one moment, I think it's right after this. Like there's nothing you find wrong with Delia. And the dad's just like, no.
Nothing. She's perfect.
Just straight up no.
Yeah, he's like, you never once thought that she could lie, and he was like, no, that never once crossed my mind.
Yes, yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
And I kind of understand that because if if you are a parent, you like you wouldn't assume your kid's lying, or would
Totally.
you?
And for a while, the only time she actually did lie was when she like fucked up that bully. And
Well,
it's
here
like
she's
that,
lying. She said
but
they started it.
right. But I mean, like that was the big thing that like started them on this like is Delia okay crusade. And it's like that kid sucked.
The bully
Like
at school.
yeah, even if she did like fuck up that bully real bad, like she was justified in doing so. The way he stomped her sandwich,
Yeah, yeah. Honestly,
terrible.
I would be really proud of my kid if they stood up to themselves like that.
Me
I'd be like, good for
too.
you, dude. Good for you. But yeah, yeah. So they love talking politics because she loves politics and dad loves politics. So there's this one part where they're sitting at the dinner table and they I don't know why I call it a dinner table. I guess you can eat any meal there. It could be a
Yeah,
lunch table, right?
I
Or a
mean that was a
breakfast
thing
table.
though. Like back in the old days, families had a dinner table.
Right. So we're
Yeah.
gathered around that thing and they're talking about politics and mom walks in and she's just so annoyed and Delia gives her a great look. I loved their dynamic. I thought they were so good together. Mom and
The
Delia.
mom and Delia, yeah, I thought so
All their
too.
stuff together.
Yeah. Now listen, we're saying a lot of positive shit about this movie.
Yeah, you're right,
And
kind of.
and it's honestly horrible. It's really
Why are we being so nice?
I don't know. Like cuz it was sort of fun to watch, but it's like incredibly poorly made. I mean, although it looks okay for a 1991 TV movie.
Yeah, and honestly,
And
it reminded me of the Stephen King TV movie, the way it was directed.
yeah, it's just sort of like
The It one or the
once you get what's going
Shining.
on in this movie, like after like 40 minutes, you just have to sit through like the next 40 minutes. And it's like kind of a slog. But
But wait, like in the meantime, like we go see Felicity and she deals with the snakes, and then we meet Lerner. Like it kind of picks up here. Like we mentioned, like here we're kind of, and then we like pick up immediately. But then Lerner dies, and I feel like that's
yeah, I gotta say, like going into the podcast, I was gonna give this a 1.
yeah, yeah. I think so too, kind of.
And I might have been talked up to a 2 in this
Because I said I would
conversation.
rather do the American Psycho too, because I was like thinking that was so better. But they're pretty similar, honestly.
This
I
is
like.
better, I think.
It
Like I
might
gave
be
that a
better.
1. You
It
couldn't
might.
talk me up to a 2 on that one.
I think I did give it a 2. I'm pretty sure. This might be better. You are right about that, but I think that one was more fun. Rather, who was it? It was Star Trek, wasn't it? Was he in that one?
It was Mila Kunis.
Right, but her professor was I always forget that guy's name.
Star Trek. Oh, Shatner.
Yeah, that's got some fun stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, we go meet Felicity. So Felicity was the nun, and now she has this new life as like a snake
As a
charmer.
student at NYU.
Right, I guess so. If you want to follow that. But here she's like a snake charmer at churches or some bullshit. I don't know what's going on. And she does that, and then he shows up and he fucks up her concentration or her belief. He shows her a picture and her all of her reality comes crashing down. So the snakes like don't listen to her anymore, and then they start eating her. It was crazy. He got her killed.
Yeah. And I was like, that's a real bummer.
It was. But then we cut to her in bed and we see her actually die. And we see like a shadow of a cross on her when she's in bed. I don't know. I thought that was cool. I loved all the cross. I did like that, honestly. They used them like in mirrors and in shadows and in cemetery walkways. I was pretty impressed.
Yeah. Plenty of those. All right. So are you going 2 or 1?
Are we done? We're not even done. We're not done. We're not done.
You got more to say about this fucking movie?
Well, the way that Lerner dies.
Oh, okay. How does he die? I don't remember.
Well, he goes to like some old place and a big wrecking ball.
Michael Lerner, by the way. That we keep saying just Lerner. No one knows who that is. It's Michael Lerner. He played Cher's dad in the TV version of Clueless.
Oh shit!
But he's also in like a bunch of Coen Brothers movies and shit. Also, Mayor Ebert in Roland Emmerich's Godzilla.
He's also our MVP, at least mine. I believe yours too. In damn it, wartime.
Oh, Life During Wartime.
Life During Wartime.
Yeah, the sequel to Happiness.
Yes, absolutely. He was good in that one. Yeah, I enjoyed him here. But the way he dies, a big wrecking ball comes through, kills him.
Yeah.
I thought it was like exactly the thing from Buffy. Like it comes smashing through a wall and kills him.
Glorified bricklayer rolls a spare. Yeah.
Yeah. Classic moment. So that was fun. Yeah, I don't know. Stuff about Rome. I don't know. I guess we mentioned it. And then Alexander, they named him Alexander, by the way, the little boy. His name's
Right.
Alexander. And he has 666 on his hand.
Uh,
Oh no. What does it make you when you're like the spawn of Satan? What is that?
um, the I don't know.
Is he? But I guess he's this because he's her daughter, but also her brother. Or
Yeah, he's both the brother and son of the Antichrist son or daughter.
Well, she's the Antichrist. Because isn't the Antichrist the son or daughter?
But Damien's really the Antichrist.
Oh, so you're right.
She's the daughter of the Antichrist, and she's now given birth to her own Antichrist brother.
I never thought we'd get to here, but I love it. Yeah, that's great. But I didn't like the 666 on the hand. It should have been on his head. I didn't like that.
I agree with
every
that.
other case it is. Why is it on his hand? Just because it's like a cool, like a camera shot they could get. I don't know. I hated it though.
Yeah, it was just easier.
Yeah, but so mom comes in with a gun. We had a new nanny come in after the old nanny died. Her name was Lisa, but mom kills her, shoots her with a gun, and then mom comes in and she's a big standoff at the end, and she ends up killing herself. We don't know. But there's like
that's right. Yeah, we just see the gun go off, and then we go to her funeral. She's just like, I can't take this goddamn shit anymore.
Yeah, let me get out of here.
Yeah.
And then we go to the cemetery and we see the daughter and the baby still alive. So we're like, oh, I guess mom's dead. So.
And the dad. I feel like that dad was sort of like, I feel like he's gonna like end up fucking Delia or something.
Yeah, he does. He is like a worshiper of her.
Yeah, he's like a little too close.
Yeah, I don't know how those things work. I really don't. But
you mean step incest
or stuff when you like worship your own daughter.
Yeah. That's weird.
But it's not really his own daughter because it's they adopted her.
It's like Jessica Simpson's dad.
Well, she's a child.
Or Thora Birch's dad.
Wait, what happened there?
I don't know. Those are two creepy stage dads.
Jessica Simpson and Thora Birch?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, isn't that the reason Thora Birch's career didn't work out really?
Yeah, people say that. Like the casting people didn't want to deal with her fucking weird dad ananymore. Who like insisted on being on set like for her nude scenes.
What a freaking! She should have just not done nude scene movies.
She should have just fired her fucking weird dad.
Yeah, it's hard when it's family. It's hard to like you don't know how to escape that.
It is hard, and I'm talking about Thora Birch's dad's dick.
Yeah, every time he was on set. Anyway, so I'm gonna go with I'll go with mom. I thought about going learner, but mom carries more of the movie. I'm gonna go with, and I was impressed. I thought she was fun.
Wow.
What's the actor's name?
Faye Grant, I think.
Right. Yeah, you said it. I wanted to show her. Yeah,
I'm gonna go with that fella I liked.
Who was he again?
Noah.
Oh right. Oh yeah, that friend.
Yeah, I like that guy. He had like an interesting vibe. His name's Jim Burns, the actor. Jim Burns.
Byrnes. Yes.
Yeah, he was on the Highlander TV show and also in one of the Highlander movies. So we'll cover him when we do that.
All right, I can't wait for that.
I kind of the same character. Fun yeah. Because I remember they incorporated the TV show in one of the movies, so it was like they had like the original Highlander from the movie meet the Highlander from the TV show.
Oh, I bet that was fun
for someone.
What if like the Buffys met each other? Swanson met Geller.
That'd be mind blowing.
That'd be really cool. Yeah, Galar.
Don't say Galar.
So that's LVP. What do you got there? I went with the second nanny.
The second nanny. Yeah, that's fair.
I thought she was gonna be a bigger deal.
I might go with the dad.
I kind of like Dad.
I kind of thought he sucked, honestly. And the mom was so good that like there was a disconnect there. Like I was bored of him, but I like following her around.
He's Michael Woods, isn't he?
Yeah, Michael Woods. Is he?
Or at least or at least he's like an actor. I think.
I mean, he's still working, but
I feel like I've looked at his IMDb before.
He was in Gotti. Like he's not like great.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah,
he was in Passions.
Yeah, 5 eps. I probably saw them.
So did Spike.
That's a good point.
His favorite show is Passions.
Yeah. All right,
guys. So that is that. What did we give it a 2? Yeah, we'll give it a 2.
Yeah, I'll give it a courtesy 2.
Who knew? I feel like the ranking so far is pretty easy. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, right? You're totally right about that.
It's just going downhill. I feel like next week will get better though. So I've heard.
Well, we'll find out. Yeah, next week on the show we're covering 3 things, gang. We should cover that TV show this week. Although it wouldn't have lined up chronologically.
What TV show?
Because remember we're watching the pilot of that TV show?
Oh no, I forgot about that.
You forgot about this. Okay. So next week we're doing the Omen remake that came out June 6th, 2006. And then there in 2016, A&E ran the first season of a show called Damien that was based on the Omen. So we're going to try to watch the pilot of that.
Okay. And you've never seen it before?
I've never seen it before. Yeah. And it got canceled after that first season.
Okay.
And then we're also covering The First Omen, which is the recent very well reviewed film that came out just this year.